guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we are in Kew Gardens and it's going to be very fun. Also, I'm Amelia and I like plants. We are about to go in the gigantic greenhouse. We are about to go in the gigantic greenhouse. There is a banana tree. Banana.
Wow!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Here is the beautiful peacock plant. It's very nice. Here's a rubber tree. Rubber is like made from the silky sap, latex of this tree, and the rubber is very versatile. And although this tree is native to Brazil, most of the world's rubber comes from the plantations in Indonesia, Thailand and Malaysia. The latex is harvested by cutting an angled groove into the bark, at the base of which is placed a cup. The thick, milky liquids run down the cut, filling the cup over a period of 3 to 4 hours. This is known as tapping. The latex is then strained. Acid is added to the mixture, dried and made into sheets. Today, over 5 million tons of rubber are produced each year. And did you know, rubber is still tapped from wild trees in the Amazon basin? They cannot be grown in plantations here, as the trees are susceptible to disease. This tree is beautiful. Here is a mahogany tree, and mahogany is perhaps the best known of rainforest trees, and it's prized for its strong, deep red wood. Although the name mahogany has been applied to many trees with red-coloured timber, true mahogany only comes from 3 species of South American tree known as Swietenia. Sorry if I can't pronounce that right. These tall hardwood trees were once abundant but are now considered endangered. They are a favourite with furniture makers and shipbuilders. Mahogany produces a beautiful fine-grained wood that can easily be worked and gives a recognisable maroon finish. Cuban mahogany, S. mahogany, is recognised as the finest in the world, but is now protected by the law. However, big-leafed mahogany, S. macrophylla, I might not say that right, remains a valuable natural resource for many South American countries. To ensure sustainability of this timber, consumers are advised to buy wood with a FSC trademark from a well-managed source. Did you know mahogany is protected by the Conservation of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna CITES regulations, which prevents its illegal import? This tree has loads of little fruits. It's called a Sorium cherry. And if you can't see them on the tree, I'll just quickly show you them now. Here are some that have dropped off the tree. Look at this lovely specimen. This is a Robusta coffee or Coffea canephora. Isn't it just splendiferous? Here's some facts about the coffee. The climate emergency is threatening many of our crops. Our Arabica coffee, the world's most cultivated coffee species, is at a particularly high risk. A recently discovered species of coffee plant may offer hope. There are over 130 known species of coffee, but 99% of the coffee brewed comes from only 2 species: Arabica, coffee Arabica, and Robusta, coffee canephora. Arabica plants, like the one planted here, are sensitive to high temperatures, making them vulnerable to climate change. In 2021, scientists and collaborators published the exciting news that a rare threatened wild coffee species, coffee Stenophila, has both an excellent flavour and the ability to grow in a hotter climate. These 2 attributes are not found together in any other coffee species, making C. Stenophila a potential alternative to Arabica in the effort to grow coffee in a warming world. This is a bottle palm. This palm only grows wild on Round Island, Mauritius. By the 1970s, it was almost extinct, introduced rabbits and goats having overgrazed its habitat. Thanks to a team of conservation bodies, including the Royal Botanic Gardens, populations have grown from the remaining 7 or 8 plants to around 250 today. Round Island is now a managed nature reserve, and the bottle palm is being reintroduced to other Mauritian islands where it once grew. Micropropagation techniques developed here with this palm have been applied to the conservation of the closely related Hyophorbe amaricularis, which is reduced to a single individual in Mauritius. This plant is a living fossil. Dun, dun, dun. These plants were found around before the dinosaurs. Cycads are known as living fossils as they have remained unchanged for millions of years. During the Jurassic period, 206 to 144 million years ago, there were more cycads on Earth than any other plant. Although they look like palms and are more closely related to pine trees, they grow mainly in tropical and subtropical climates and can survive quite harsh conditions. Most cycads are rare. All 250 species are protected by the law. Here, in the palm house, Kew is conserving cycads by propagating the rarest species. This plant has lived through Kew Gardens' entire history as a botanical garden. It was collected by Kew's first plant hunter, Francis Mason. It left the shores of the Eastern Cape in South Africa in 1773 and endured a long ocean voyage before finally arriving at Kew in 1775. The plant flourished as the French Revolution raged while Trevithick invented the steam locomotive and Armstrong walked on the moon. It was one of the first plants to be moved into the palm house in 1848. Even though some cycads can live for 2,500 years, today they are rare in the wild. All cycads are protected by law. is a Madagascar periwinkle. This beautiful plant has proved invaluable in the fight against cancer. Madagascar periwinkle, Catharinus rosus, is a tender perennial, often grown as a houseplant. It was introduced to Europe from Madagascar, where it was traditionally used as a remedy for diabetes and digestive ailments. 2 of the alkaloids found in the sap of this plant are now used to fight leukemia and Hodgkin's disease. The alkaloids vincristine and vinblastine are only found in tiny amounts. 1 ton of leaves must be processed to find 1 dose. In the 1960s, only 20% of childhood leukemia victims survived. Now, 95% have a chance of remission due to the drugs developed from this plant. This is amazing! It's gigantic! This is a Begonia microsperma. This is known as the golden cane plant. This is a tamarind. Almost every part of the tall tamarind tree, Tamaridus indica, has a use. The semi-evergreen tree, which originated in tropic Africa, grows throughout the tropics and particularly in India. The sour, fleshy fruit pods are used to add a sweet and tart flavour to meat and vegetable dishes in South Asia. A good source of zinc, it was traditionally made into a type of porridge for pregnant women. We know it best as the essential ingredient in Worcester sauce. I just want to say something about Africa. Africa has around 60,000 plant species and is one of the world's biodiversity hotspots. Africa is home to a huge diversity of habitats, ranging from lush rainforests to shifting desert to the intriguing island of Madagascar. Although much reduced, tropical rainforests still exist at the heart of the continent, holding half of Africa's total flora and fauna. Some of the world's most important crops come from these areas, including coffee and palm oil. Madagascar contains perhaps the world's most threatened ecosystems. Cut off from Africa for 160 million years, most of its plants and animals evolved in isolation. 80% of the 10,000 plant species found here are endemic, including Madagascar periwinkle, Catharinus rosus, which is now an important resource for fighting leukemia and Hodgkin's disease. You would know that from earlier if you watched that. Mysterious fruit. Look at this very interesting flowers. This is a felted pepper face. And this is a Sabal maritima. I'm going to talk about the Americas. The lush tropical forests of the Americas burgeon with life. With over 85,000 plant species, Middle and South America have the largest of the world's tropical floras, yet are the least botanically explored. The enormous Amazonian and coastal forests of Brazil are the most diverse in the world, while the smaller forests of the Central American countries are home to a unique concentration of endemic plants and animals. Many of the Caribbean islands also contain fragile forests and coastal ecosystems, many of which are in need of protection. Famous for being the last vast tropical wilderness, the Amazon rainforest extends over 9 South American countries. It is a hotspot of biodiversity. 20% of all higher plant species grow here, many with economic and medicinal potential. Familiar plants such as papaya, avocado, pineapple, vanilla, cacao, and rubber all come from the tropical American rainforest. This is a Diune spinulosa. Diune spinulosa produces the largest cones of any known plant, living or extinct. This endangered dyad from Mexico has separate male and female parts. Each produces cones. The female cone can reach 55 centimeters long and weigh up to 13 kilograms, often containing 300 seeds. In July 2003, both the male and female plants here produced cones. 50 months after the pollination of the female cone, the seeds were ready. This is the first time the plant has been successfully propagated at Kew Gardens. Seeds have been sent for long-term storage at the Millennium Seed Bank at Wakehurst Place.